fine.
Yeah.
We bought this to replace our restaurant. So we wanted to start using this because it's sustainable. There's no energy. We want it to be, you know, like off-grid kind of thing. And they're like, well, that's propane.
Call it a hybrid.
Huh? You want to head up there?
Sure.
All right. Gets your breathing going, so if you're going to be doing any talking, you'll have to wait a second.
Okay. Stair stepping.
This was built in 1981.
Wow. So that's like 81 is like that's pioneering stuff.
Yeah, all these people were strangers. I didn't know before all this, except for one person.
Luther here with the Big Blue Sun Museum of Solar Cooking, based in Minneapolis. I'm here with Susan Shook in beautiful
Kensington,
Kansas, in an almost undisclosed location. I heard from several other people who had a little trouble finding it, but once you saw the teepee and the villager, there was no doubt this event that Susan and her husband have put together is going full blast. Well, as full blast as it can be.
Yep.
Perfect day for it. Look at that sun. So my questions are always, how did you get into solar energy in any way, shape, or form to begin with? And then how did you get to solar cooking? And how did you get to this event? I guess we'll put them on roads to begin with.
Okay, so my daughter was in 3rd or 4th grade maybe, and went to science camp. And she came back and told us that, did you know you can cook with the sun? And my husband said, no, you can't. And she said, yes, you can. And so she's like, I'll show you. And he fell in love with it. And so he made a little one, and then he made a bigger box one. And they had made hot dogs at science camp. And we put, I think it was maybe a pork butt or something in a box to see. We went big.
Yeah.
And it worked. And we're like, wow. So he ended up building a bigger one and built some little prototypes and several different things. And so then we had one for a while until we moved here to Kansas from Colorado. And he gave that one to his sister, and we got one of the hot pots.
Sure.
And we loved that one. So we used that for several years. And then we got the Go Sun. Or no, I'm sorry. We got the Sun Oven.
Sure.
And then we got the other little box one. Whatever, I don't know what the name of it is. It's a knockoff of the
right. Yeah,
there's
50 different outfits that have done variations on that theme. Yeah.
But this one here, the big villager, before we even moved from Colorado, we found out about one and for sale. So a used one down in southern Colorado, or maybe New Mexico even. And at the time we were too poor to afford it. So we couldn't afford it. And well, the price went up significantly. And we were like, well, we want one of these. And we were able to come into a little bit of money. And we said, well, it's the very first thing that we're purchasing. Let's do it. We've wanted it for so long. So my husband hounded the new owner day in and day out, over and over and over, until we got one.
Yes.
And he said, please stop. Please stop bothering me. And so we actually bought this. We purchased it as a mobile unit as far as to be able to feed our community.
Sure.
And make a business out of it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's hard to do all the time. So.
Yeah. When more and more cooker makers are deciding to go hybrid like this is, where you can do the gas thing, so you can cook anytime if you want. But understandably, that hybrid sometimes means burning more food and deforesting a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe gas, which we won't go into that because you'll get me started. Well, no, I get myself started. But no, well, so cool. And you had a pizza place.
Yeah,
right?
We had a wood-fired pizza place for 6.5 years, and it just got to be, we were too busy.
Sure.
You know, it was just the two of us. Our kids moved on, and the products that we were getting were not up to our standards, and we wanted to be able to do something a little more sustainable, and this was our idea.
Sure.
And so it's been, we're trying recipes, and it's been so much fun just cooking different things, and like, ooh, what can we put in there? Let's put this in. Let's try this. Let's try this. And we tried some pizzas. We have to mess with the recipe a little bit. And so in the meantime, we get to try lots of pizza.
Oh, yes. Hey, there's the upside to the R&D,
yes.
right? Oh, wow.
And so as far as this group, this gathering was a bunch of people who have different abilities. And we said, hey, we'll cook in an oven. We've got the world's largest oven oven. And so we did.
There you go. Oh, man.
Then a lot of these people hadn't really they've heard of solar cooking, but they didn't know
Sure.
what it was, you know, like what it entailed. How do you do it?
Yeah.
You know, and our number one question is, what about when it's cold?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Or rain comes in or what have you.
Yep.
Then you just revert to form.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the oven, the Villager, of course, special place in my heart because I've been collecting them forever. And I started a spreadsheet maybe about 5 years ago where that was gotta have, can't find. And then finally, I interviewed John LaLiberte there in Yakas, Oregon. Was able to procure it. Same deal, inheritance. Thank you, Aunt Ruth. And he told the story, talking about finally just saying, we just got to do it. That he and his wife talked about getting it because it was maybe 12, 14,000 or something back then. And he said, well, my rationale is every guy has got to have a boat. This is your boat. So you get it. You get it.
Good for him.
Yes. And they didn't regret it. And she drove all over Oregon promoting stuff. Susan Newstetter was her name. And just the size of it, I call it a monument now. Oh, cool. So that's kind of future plans. The idea to see if you can make pizzas work in there, maybe branch out to other foods. Or?
Yeah. Yeah, we'd really like to do things that farm to table. I love
Sure.
that. I love the concept, and not necessarily my farm.
Right.
The communities, people that in our community that have an abundance of vegetables and things that we can do this with, because the global chain isn't.
Yeah.
It's so hard these days to even get anything, and it's like, is the quality what it used to be? No, I really don't think so.
No.
So, I'd like to get more hands-on, get our food back to where it's supposed to be, and feed people good, healthy food. So
Yes.
that's really what the whole idea of this was, is just to get it back to here into our community, and hoping that that'll work.
Sure. So do you see yourself as like part of the solar cooking movement, or is this kind of like, boy, it's going to work for me, or what are your thoughts about that?
I really do think that we are part of it. We are just so excited about all the different varieties of it. And as I was telling you earlier, we were invited to go talk to some grade school kids, 4th grade, and the excitement that they had fed us. Like, that was like,
Sure.
we influenced the younger generation, and that's going to stick with them. And maybe not all of them will use it, but somebody will, maybe even just one of them.
Yep.
And that's going to continue on with that, and I think everybody really should learn to cook with the sun.
Yes.
It's available to us.
And do it now before you're going to have to. You're
Right.
going to have to,
We use solar. We camp a lot. All of our campers are set up with solar on them.
Sure.
This house that we live in is passive solar, so it is also
Sure.
heated and cooled by the
Oh,
placement of the sun.
Yep.
We want to convert this into more of an off-grid, use more solar panels, wind generation, and
Yep.
things of that nature. And I mean, the sun is an amazing thing.
What do they say? It's a kilowatt per meter squared or something of pure energy. Panels are like 20% of that. We've got 6 kilowatts on our roof. It's 22 panels. It's probably from about there to halfway across the roof. I mean, so that's not. This is the most efficient.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's almost pure direct.
You don't need
solar
anything
thermal.
with it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh man. Boy, well, I can't think of anything else. Do you have any thoughts on the future, or how to? I mean, you're promoting it through this event, which I think is perfect because it's that one-on-one, very personal. You can testify. Here's what I've been doing with it. Here's how it works. It's not rocket science. For myself, people will say, well, if you can't cook something on it, and I'll go, well, how many different cookers do you have in your kitchen?
Right.
You've got an oven, and on top of that is a gas range. That's a different cooker. That's not one cooker. What's
and you
on
got your
the microwave on top?
Yep.
What's I counted like
cookers,
7.
yeah.
Per crock pot, toaster oven, and how many people? Of course, they got the 6-burner gas stove, barbecue grill on the outside. So I say you do the same things. It's just that then you just pick the appropriate cooker.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we have all this, and we also have smokers and wood-fired ovens, and
Yes.
but part of this was my husband has cut wood and split wood and burned wood. We've done it for 10 years with the wood-fired oven, and that's a lot of trees.
Yes.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So this, you don't have to do any of that. And we just love the simplicity of it. And, you know, I have found that there's two types of people. The ones that cannot shy away from asking you, what the hell is that thing? And the others that are like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Change bad. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I believe that the flavor is different as well. I really think that the flavor of the Sun-cooked food is much better. My husband cooks all the time. I'm not the cook, he is.
Okay.
But there is a difference. There is a big difference, and I just love it. I love going outside in the winter day and smelling it. Yeah. And there's just nothing like it.
Well, and I was going to ask about the wood fire. I mean, what do you do with the ash? Is that like do you repurpose it, or does it?
I use it on some garden stuff.
Sure.
I have friends who raise chickens, and they use it for like to ash. They put ash on them to keep away fleas and mites.
Oh,
and
sure.
Mostly it ends up in my garden, in my yard, and stuff like that. But yeah, that was a big thing too. It's like, where do we put all this waste? 6.5 years. A big ash pile.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, all the stuff we're cooking out here, you know, we have to sweep up all those little sun dregs, right?
Yeah.
No.
Just eat and you're done.
Yeah. Is Kansas like a state that's pretty agreeable to this kind of stuff, or are there?
I don't think that there's many codes or anything. You know, that there's nothing that we really need to concern ourselves with, as far as I know. Like, you can build any kind of house. Like, we can do whatever we want on this property, and there's not very many places left that you can do that.
Right.
And so that's one of the things that brought us back here, is the fact that we could do that. People have really embraced it. We were not sure what to think when we first bought it, and people really think it's pretty cool. And it's like, wow, this is in our community.
Yes.
And so a big part of it was too, if ever the grid goes down, whatever, whether you're a prepper or concerned about anything like that, there is a possibility that you have a storm, takes down a power line. What's going to happen to everybody's fridges and freezers? Exactly. It's going to need to be something done. Well, that's money in our pocket too, because we can cook for people. And the kickback is we get food.
Yes.
We'll cook for you, but feed us.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of our thing. That whole barter and trade system is back, and I think I think every community should invest in one.
Yes.
For just that case, because we've all had power outages, we've all had natural disasters, or whatever it may be, and so it would be a great addition to every community, I think, and whether they ever use it or not.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't you? So we're going to have all kinds of food here in a moment.
Well, and we could check on some stuff down there, because we got probably 3 things we got 2 in the 2 Hayneses going, and the Solar Urban Society Sport. You got the Sun Oven, the vacuum tube, the nameless vacuum tube, anonymous vacuum tube. I haven't put anything in the Simplicity yet, but let's check out on the food.
Okay,
Well, you need chocks and pitons and climbing ropes.
I'm a big kid at heart. This is my sledding hill.
You should charge kids.
My neighbors probably think I'm a bit insane, but that's okay. I might be.
Oops.
I'll go grab them.
Yeah, there's all kinds of junk to strap on.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Put a couple in, and then we'll check what.
I can smell it. Ooh, look at that steam.
Oh, man. See, that should be good on this, because it's still running.
So those are beans. Look at them boiling away in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you put beans in there? Oh, I put more in.
No.
Green chili.
Oh, man.
Green chili.
What time do you want to eat, Mark? Nobody ate lunch until almost 2.
Well, I was thinking about 5 is when everything be ready.
What about that lasagna? What time is it?
4.
You want it?
If we have room, I'm going to put 3 more pans in. Look at all your bacon.
I can take it in the oven in the kitchen. Well,
we got room in there.
there you go.
we will have room. But yeah, I mean, it can lean over the edge. Those are good potatoes.
Sure.
Right.
There is so much food. Oh, that's a
Check
big
on the
one.
eggs. The eggs have been at least an hour.
Well, I might just stack this one.
There's.
Watch your
That's a big old lasagna.
Yeah, that thing's a monster. Let's get going on. I'm going to attempt the lasagna first.
That is a hazard. It's no different of a hazard than a regular oven. The steam comes flying out, you know.
Don't burn yourself.
Yeah. Pretty hot.
Oh, you can do that.
Yeah.
Do you believe in oven gloves that come up to here?
I have some, but no, I never use them.
Okay. I'm just curious.
I like to live dangerously. So
Well,
rice.
you can see the rice is just
Have you,
Picture
Did
perfect.
you see his oven that he cooked pizza in? Yeah, it's
That's just veggies, just
oh yeah.
onions and peppers.
jeepers creepers.
Big pot of beans.
That's why they call it a villager. It'll feed a village.
Golly.
Is that leftover soup from last night?
No, these are different beans that I just soaked and cooked.
I guess it'll be a surprise when I see it in the spring.
Careful.
Yeah.
Green chili.
Rosie's flowers.
This is what?
Oh,
Green chili.
still bubbling.
It's a green chili soup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pork green chili. So we have, pork green chili, rice, beans, veggies, lasagna, and those are potatoes. And I'll probably have to get a second mitt to get this out of here. Really good. Want a recipe? Everybody have everything they need? Any requests? Ask again. Let's see what happens. About 120,000. Instead of getting you have to do 3,000. I get a whack on my head.
I took my accident.
Thank you so much.
I don't do things like that.
Anyone else need a napkin?
You're not giving it away free.
May I have a
Full on chemical dip.
They don't like the strong smell. I love it for man.
Next thing I did with it was started making a big top and I'd light it up and see how much heat was radiating off of it. I tried going down to Ford dealership. I got an 80 piece trailer. I just tried all kinds of things. And finally get on YouTube. Not YouTube. That Zoom call thing. And I guess somebody see a turn cut. What's that? We got 5 or 6 candles and they don't heat.
Lost power.